Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of Internet Friends, where Seth is now back in 2011 YouTube, where basically you had the black bars on his video.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm
Good
rocking that
days.
4x3. You know?
Oh yeah,
Amazing.
Zack Snyder would be so proud of you.
He would. He would. I just got to make this whole thing black and white. Is there a filter for that?
That probably is. I would not be shocked.
My computer not working. So I'm on mobile. This means nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Don't break the magic here. Come on.
Like, hey, I have a $300 microphone setup, but it sounds like I shot it on an iPhone for authenticity purposes.
Yeah. It's an aesthetic.
Yes.
Yeah, aesthetic audio choice.
Amazing.
Bruh.
So anyways,
Well, it feels good to be back.
Yeah. So before Steph's drop, I asked everybody, how's the war on fascism going?
Great, except not at all, because the person who shot him is an even bigger Nazi.
Hey, like, if they're just gonna destroy each other, let's just roll with it.
That's fair. Pop some popcorn, get that AMC extra butter from the store.
I mean, he would have made a like black on black statement in one of his debates. I'm sure if you dig through the internet history, he probably said it. So a Nazi on
In the
Nazi
middle
violence.
of saying that.
He was exactly
saying that.
So
Okay.
just so everybody on the internet knows, we are on that part of it where we don't have empathy, and we are going to make a lot of jokes about this because we are who we are.
And he didn't believe in empathy anyway, so why would we extend any to him? So, notably
Excuse me for using my typical dark humor and appreciating irony.
Yeah. Well, and something I was saying before I had all of the troubles was I love watching very serious politicians now have to say the words, "If you're reading this, you're gay, LMAO." What do these mean? We don't know.
Oh, whoa.
All right. Anyways, getting us off of the darkest timeline here, we're just gonna roll right into our homework assignment, which was assigned by Bree. So, Bree, what was our homework?
It was K-pop Demon Hunters, which I'm so fucking excited to talk about this, and I just want to be very candid because I feel like this might be a movie where you're like, oh well, Bree's obviously gonna like this. She was gonna watch it anyways. I want to tell you that I was not. I thought that I had vaguely heard about it, and I was kind of like, okay, well that sounds stupid as hell, and I want to be very gentle with the way I'm about to say this, but like, K-pop fans can kind of be a lot sometimes. And I'm actually not even discussing like K-pop fans from Korea. I mean like American K-pop fans can be a lot. So I was kind of like, okay, I was expecting to go into this and be like, okay, fun and cute. This is my entire personality now. So I have never I actually I literally ordered Mexican food. I put the movie on. I did not touch my phone for the entire duration of this film, which is almost impossible for me to do. I was locked the fuck in. I cried the entire last third of the movie. And I am very excited, especially to have two boys to talk about this with, because like obviously the girls in my life are like, have you seen it? It's so good.
For me.
Listen, fellas. So I'm really excited. I'm not that I'm buried the lead by any means, but I'm going to kick it over to whoever wants to go next, and then we'll go more in depth. There's lots to talk about. I have so much to talk about.
Yeah, this one, to a similar point, I've seen clips of it on TikTok. Didn't think, it's not really for me. Maybe someday I'll watch it, but I'm not like actively looking for it. This is one of those movies that I didn't take a single note because I just enjoyed watching it from start to finish.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good. And also tears the entire last song. Oh my God.
I still cry when I hear it. Honestly, it's the song I listen to the least because it's still like, especially when they harmonize at the end, I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, and that huge like 8-part harmony that they end on.
I'm not quite talking about it.
It's so good.
It's so good. Aaron?
Yeah, no, hard agree. Didn't take any notes. Probably watched it way too early in our like watching homework cycle, as me and Bree talked about in the pre-show, where we like watched it like middle of last week, and like it's not as fresh in my head, but like it was Really, really good. I was curious about watching it, but didn't necessarily have an incentive to like put it on. But yeah, like there's a lot of themes and things that it does very well. Going back to kind of K-pop fans, it did a good job of like showcasing what K-pop fans are like without being disrespectful to them, which was kind of refreshing because they could have
Yes.
very easily lampooned that if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I loved the characters, especially the main three girls. They were really, really fun in seeing them interact. And the art direction's really, really good. This is I did have the thought, it's just like, this is what AI's trying to make and failing at incredibly hard.
Miserably,
Yeah.
yes.
Like, I liked kind of like the pseudo stop motion animation-y kind of quality to it. It did give it a lot more personality, in my opinion.
Yes.
And yeah, and like the soundtrack just slaps. Like, you
Yeah,
can't you can't like, for like, there's not a single song that, like, if this was on an album, I don't think there would be a skip.
See, for me, I think there was like one song where I was like, oh, this one isn't as strong as the others. But that section was over so quick, and then they moved right into another banger that I don't even remember what that song was.
It was just like an
why.
interlude. It was like, here it is, and then straight back into the.
Yeah. I also did not realize that Soda Pop was from this. That has been all over my For You page since this came out.
Yeah.
That's the only song I'm not crazy about, but like, I think it serves the purpose that it needs to in the movie. Like, I don't think it's necessarily even supposed to be a good song, honestly. It's just, it's supposed to do what it does. And I'm like, because I have all of the songs on my regular playlist. I have been listening to them nonstop since I watched this movie. And when I really
she completely did both of our playlists, Seth. She doesn't care about either of our playlists anymore. It's only this is the only music that she's listening to anymore.
Hey, it's K-pop Demon Hunter or the Shags. Which would you rather have?
Good point.
Super fair. Do you guys have a favorite song?
I don't know the names of any of them.
Yeah, it might be either the opening one.
I was gonna say the opening one goes hard.
The opener goes pretty hard. Obviously, the like main like one that's throughout the
Golden.
Golden like is like obviously just a beautiful one. The diss track is kind of meh.
Yeah,
but like it was intended to be though.
I love Takedown. Disagree. Yeah. Disagree. No, that's fair. Honestly, I feel like I switch each time. Like when I first watched it, it was Your Idol, because like it just goes hard. The outfits, like honestly, the really scary fucking lyrics when you listen to it. It's just like, hey, no one's coming to save you, and I'm taking your soul. Thank goodness you like me so much, so I'm taking your entirety. So I'm like, oh yeah, sure. So it's good.
Oh, is that the last one that Soulja Boy plays?
Yeah.
That is a good song. Soulja Boy. That got me. Every time they said it, I was like, this is so close to Soldier Boy that my brain is like, they're saying it wrong. And I'm like, no, it's a different word.
Yeah, well,
I'm arguing with my brain during this.
Yeah, I had the same thing a couple of times, so it's not just you.
I was wondering about the whole pride thing, and then I realized later that Saja means lion. And I was like, oh, okay, so they're like the lion boys, so join the pride. I was like, makes sense. I could have probably put that together if I thought about it harder. So, but yeah, Your Idol is good. I do actually really like the duet between Jiddu and Arumi. Like the harmonies are just stunning. I think it's one of the most underrated tracks in the movie because I feel like I don't hear a ton of people talking about it. And it is so middle of the movie that I think it gets overshadowed by Golden, which Golden is probably going to be the song of the year. It's slated to win a lot of awards, and I think it definitely deserves it. Like it's just, I mean, I don't know if you've seen like the clips from people in the club where the DJ's playing Golden and everyone's losing their goddamn mind. I'm just like, there's something very sweet about this movie that like it's really connecting with people. I think especially our age. I think we all have such unhealed trauma. So it's just like it really is. It's like it's hitting all of us the way it should. And I'm just like, I feel like we're like people our age are bigger fans than kids at this point. So I guess this is a kids movie technically. So
I do feel like this was definitely aimed a little bit more at like I think specifically millennials, at least the here in the West, at least, because we at least still grew up when like boy band and girl band culture in the 90s. At least we still kind of remember that, because what was the last big boy band we had? It would have been One Direction, really, if you think about it.
Yeah,
out here we haven't had like a super pop group in a very long time.
No. And there were moments where I was watching it going like, oh yeah, like I get why K-pop is still popular over here, because it in a lot of ways is boy bands, and you know, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, you know, Destiny's Child.
Yeah, it
Dixie
still has
Chicks.
that kind of vibe. And again, it's portraying this movie to have a lot less toxicity than I think is the reality, because let's be honest, in K-pop and J-pop worlds, like there's a lot of like toxic kind of stuff that happens in idol culture out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the concept of graduation.
I think they do touch on it vaguely in this movie, because obviously like the work schedule of the three girls and then still being pushed to like put out more stuff constantly. Absolutely. And also there's a very small commentary on like shipping fandoms, like the whole Jinu and Rumi thing, like the fact that they're like they already had merch about them being a couple. It's like these are two human beings, like, and that's how people act in real life. So
yeah. Also, stupid thing, I forgot the main character's name was Rumi, and there were a couple scenes where she was interacting with the other two girls.
And I was like, what's up, Rumi?
Yeah, what's up, Rumi?
And
I'm like,
saying up to your roommate.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, why is that her nickname? Like, shouldn't that be for everyone? And then it was like, oh, right, that's her name.
I do forget her name a lot. I always remember Mira and Zoe so much because those are such distinct names in my mind. So Rumi did just, I don't know, I kept forgetting it, but I don't think I have a favorite between the three of them.
Oh, mine's Mira.
I think mine is Rumi. Yeah.
Main character complex, we got you.
Yeah. And I definitely have that. Actually, if we're being real, my favorite character in the entire movie is the tiger.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love that tiger.
Oh yeah.
His scene where oh my gosh, the scene where they introduce Derpy is like my favorite, just because I'm like, that could be in any other context like really horrifying, because you just see these gigantic eyes and him creeping out, and then him just like knocking over the flower pot, and like the timing, the pacing, like this movie's actually super funny, and I feel like that's one of those scenes where I was like, this is gold, this is so good. It's also just so fucking cute.
Yeah. Another scene where I was like, oh, this movie is really funny is when they first see the boy band and their eyes keep changing, and one, the popcorn, and the other is eating it as it's falling into the bowl. So good.
Oh my goodness.
No, I definitely I enjoyed all the personalities, especially like amongst the core group. You know, like they both have all three of them have their distinct personalities, and even though like obviously Rumi's the main character, and so therefore it's a lot of focus on her, she doesn't overshadow the other two like whatsoever.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and also in this kind of movie, it would have been really easy to like Flanderize the other two, to be like, oh, we're going to push that to the extreme because that's the only way you're going to notice it. No, it was played very realistic and very believable, as these are real people and not just animated figures that are here for funnies.
Oh, absolutely. I did have, so during kind of like the first like kind of like fight scene with the Saja boys and everything, it's just like, oh, are they setting it up to where she's going to have a crush on her dad?
I wondered that too.
That was my first thought.
And then I remembered that I was thinking that, and then I remembered he said he was like 400 years old, and I was like, oh, so that's not going to happen.
Well, see, that's why I thought it was going to happen, because it's just like he's a demon, he's been alive for 400 years. The timeline works technically.
That's fair. That is fair.
But I'm glad they didn't go that direction. But it leaves it open to get explored in a sequel, I guess. But
I mean, I don't necessarily.
Well, no, I'm saying like who her father is.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's an open-ended kind of thing, but also at the same time, I don't think I want a sequel for this. At least not unless
definitely gonna be a sequel for this.
Yeah, as long as the same team is involved in it. If it's one of those things where it's just like we're gonna make it bigger and better and get all these other people involved, and it's just like don't do that.
Don't do that. There probably is going to be a sequel, because this is, I listened to a podcast a little while ago where they were saying that K-pop Demon Hunter is the biggest release that Netflix has had in its history.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Well, and even the re-release that they've released it into theaters for the sing-alongs, and those have done record numbers. Like just like yeah, I'm like this is really unprecedented how good and like popular this movie is with a ton of different people. So there's no way they couldn't. And they do hint it, I guess. I just noticed this. I was watching something else, but there's a comeback tour poster at the very end. Like Derpy is kind of hanging over the side, and there's like big comeback tour. And also with Gino, something that I heard from somebody else again is that because he gives his soul to Rumi, and his soul becomes her sword. So some people are arguing that, hey, he's not actually gone, he's just become her sword. So maybe there is a possibility that he can be resurrected in some way. But I will say, to that point, I actually, because I kind of like that there's definitely an implied romance here, but I like that it doesn't get explored any more than it does.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely an attraction there, and that they like each other, and that they kind of are bringing things out of each other. But I thought the way they handled it was really nice. For like, yes, they definitely are attracted to each other and like each other. They have a crush, but it was never like a big romantic kiss. I think that would have felt out of place, just given the pacing of the movie.
As we've established, Brie hates kissing.
I mean, the heterosexual is gross.
Damn straights.
I remember a story from Comic-Con. Brie definitely does not like kissing, but that's a post-show topic.
I don't remember this. Oh God. I want to mention really quick as well. This movie's under 2 hours, which is so fucking refreshing.
Yeah.
It's like an hour and a half, and it's such a reasonable hour and a half. Like, this is one movie where I was like, actually, I wouldn't have minded if it was longer, but I do think it was perfect, the length that it was. Like, I was just like, I think that's why I was able to sit and like watch it in one sitting, which I'm never able to do. So very refreshing.
Yeah. That was definitely a pleasant surprise, starting it and seeing that like hour 35 or whatever, and being like, oh, good, because 90 minutes is my favorite length for a movie. I don't think a movie ever really needs to be longer than.
Yeah, I hope this starts the trend of like we start going back to like sub 2 hour like features, because especially as we were in the big MCU era and like they started making movies longer and longer, we're seeing, you know, obviously with box office sales not doing super well, and there hasn't been like a super big hit probably since COVID. Like like if studios want to cut budgets and still like get stuff out, I think going to like an hour 45 to an hour 30 for stuff like it could be a very smart move.
Yeah, and you can still establish, which honestly I think this movie does so well, that it establishes the world that we are in and the backstory and where we are now in less than 2 minutes. I feel like if this was a worse or lazier movie, especially if they were trying to pad the runtime, I think they could have made the background of this a lot more just like heavy and weighed down. But they're like, hey, there's demons. These people, sing to get rid of them, and now here are the modern day versions of this. Let's go. I'm like, that's really all I needed. Like, I don't need a ton more than that. Like, I am able to just jump into the story, see these characters for what they are, and they're able to introduce themselves through their music. So I get all of the information I need in a very succinct, digestible way, which is so lovely.
And yes, and also this movie respects your intelligence, not just in that way, but in like the reveal that Rumi has patterns and she is part demon. There's one line of dialogue where they grab someone's arm and go, oh, look, patterns, you're demons, we fight now. And then there's a later scene where you see her with patterns and I go, oh, fuck, she's a part demon. Oh, and this movie respects your intelligence. Also, when the tiger comes up with the bracelet that he got or she got, and then they kind of had that moment, it's never shown full out that he's wearing it. They don't make a big moment about it. But if you watch his wrist during that song, his sleeve comes up and you see the bracelet for fractions of a second. And I'm like, I love the subtlety of that. And not, here's a close-up on it. Look,
As I close up to her, it's just like, oh God, that he's wearing the bracelet. And it's just like, no, you don't have to do that.
Or when he like disintegrates into soul energy, not having the bracelet like fall into her hand or anything like that. It was it was all so sincere and subtle, and I really appreciated that from this movie.
100%. He also has his human eyes in that moment too, and not only that, because I'm grabbing this. I mentioned this to Aaron earlier, but I'm going to be quoting a lot of things from Cinema Wins and also Cinema Therapy because they brought up some really really cool things about this movie. Genu always wears earrings when he's doing his K-pop boy thing. He does not wear them when he is alone with Rumi, but he is wearing a single earring at the final performance, and it is the same pattern as Rumi's necklace. Or like the top of her. Yeah, so I'm just like, and again, I did not notice that myself. I didn't notice until somebody else put it. So I'm like, I like that there's these tiny little bits. Like to your point, like I think this could have easily been a very lazy movie, a very like, here you go, kids. Here's some K-pop slop. I think this is what kids like. I don't know. But like, it really, it does not talk down to you in any way. And even like the kids' humor is like very small and in between. But like, I mentioned the scene with Derpy earlier, but like, that is just pure fucking physical comedy. And timing and pacing. And I'm just like, I don't know if everybody would get this, but like, I like that they assumed that I would just kind of understand the whole bit, which is so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and like you said, that the way that character is introduced could be a horror sequence in anything else. But then they immediately do that drop and that just extended shot of it trying to get the pot back up. And it's like, oh, I immediately now know everything I need to know about this character. And like...
He's just a big kitty.
Yeah, and then the crow, the three-eyed crow. Yeah, sitting across, just kind of with this look of like, oh god. And it's like, I know everything I need to know about the crow now too. Like both of these beautiful introductions.
Yeah.
All around.
And like they don't have like any voice acting or anything. Like they could have made those characters like really obnoxious mascots, but instead they're just like really just kind of like a cute character. And I guarantee those two characters, there's like, I've seen a ton of merch stuff already on sale for both of those characters.
I love them so much.
I'm sure it's tempting Bree's cart right now.
Yes, and I just see the cat.
It's in mine.
Yes, Derpy and Sussy.
I want a
Sussy's the bird.
Derpy. Okay, yeah.
What, you don't want to deep throat a sushi roll though?
It's
that was legitimately the first clip I saw from this movie. Was somebody just taking that, her smelling it, and then gluck it down. And I was like, what is this movie?
Again, that's like one thing where it's just like, I don't think this was made for kids.
Yeah, true. And that's another thing.
Because I would eat it like that too.
Fair. I mean, that's how I eat hot dogs. That's how I eat a lot of things. It's like a duck. You know,
100%.
I try not to do.
Whenever Seth sees a phallic food, he has to deep throat it.
100%.
Yeah. Corn on the cob. But that was another thing that surprised me with how big this movie is. I thought I had seen much more of it through clips online, when in reality, it was just that opening sequence that I saw the majority of. Like, and I thought I knew more about this going into it than I did, and was completely surprised by like, oh, this is all new to me. Good movie.
Oh, 100%. I was wondering if either of you had heard, because the internet is the internet, there's a very consistent criticism of this movie, and I'm wondering if you guys have heard it. It's comparing it to a Disney movie.
Oh,
I don't think I have.
I haven't.
Oh, I bless both your hearts. Some people who think they're very smart and clever, they're like, "Oh, this movie's just Frozen. It's a girl with a long braid who has gets rejected and then comes back." I was like, I'm so glad you guys are making that face, because I was like, I'm gonna be very honest. I think there's some racial undertones to that argument, which I don't super love.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh no, the Eurocentric story, that's the one who did it first. I was like, okay, friends, like these are apples and oranges, and I had like this cold note.
I was about to say, like, this. I picked up more on like it's more about shame and
guilt.
Not trust. Yeah, shame, guilt, not trusting the people who love you to accept you.
Yeah,
and like giving them the chance to, like, it's just like, like that's a huge stretch at best.
I agree.
Yeah. If Rumi had, a quarter of the way through the movie showed her patterns and been exiled and then become a villain and then redeemed herself at the end, maybe I could see the comparison.
Yeah. But that would have been so antithetical to the story.
It would have been, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think people just, it's a popular thing. And I think people are just like, oh, well, I have to find something wrong with it. It has to be this. So, which is
Yeah,
bullshit.
And again, it
it
is one
is.
of those things where, like, obviously it being, K-pop Korean culture centric, that we in the West definitely are going to paint it with our own, kind of like interpretation and eyes. And like I do think this was curtailed a little bit more to Western audiences a little bit, to be fair.
I do see
And
that, but I also appreciate how specifically Korean it was.
Oh yeah.
And
This literally the entire thing was just like I feel like I'm just walking in my local H Mart or at like in Annandale, which has a huge Korean population, and just like hanging out, like getting Korean barbecue or at the local Breeze Bakery and everything else like that. It's just like this feels very Korean.
yeah.
Well, and I have to imagine there is some executive somewhere that's like, hey, can we just have all the lyrics in English? Like, we don't know what this audience is going to be like, but they're like, no, I think that's trusting the audience's intelligence. Like, K-pop does often have English and Korean lyrics, and also just some stuff doesn't translate well. And also they switch back and forth so quickly that I'm just like, I can't imagine this song without the Korean lyrics. Like, it is so blended into what the genre is at this point. So, but yeah, something I want to mention about the Elsa thing, just because I think there's a lot of important points and it just frustrates me. But like, so Elsa has this like mystical thing about her that makes her different from everyone else, and by the end of the movie, everyone thinks it's super fun and cool. Rumi has a physical difference that marks her as a danger to other people, and I think I don't have to say this out loud. And I think that obviously the movie plays to this a lot. I think this could be an allegory for a lot of different things. This movie has really connected with the Asian community, with the queer community, with like so many different communities because of that physical difference.
I picked up on it mostly as a mixed race thing because growing up in New Mexico, I know a lot of people who are mixed ancestry, and like certain aspects of people's family like reject children because it's just like, oh, your parents were white, or your dad was Mexican, your mom was white, like your dad was black, or any kind of thing. Like, so like they get shunned by their family, and then there's also that fear from a kid. It's just like, I'm different from the rest of my family.
Yeah,
and I have to project a certain kind of way to be accepted by them, which is what Rumi does. Is like she constantly projecting and trying to hide that side of her because she fears rejection from her friends.
I picked up on the queer element of it. There's that moment where we're talking with I can't remember the relationship. It's the woman who raised her, though.
Celine.
Celine. Celine. Where I'm like, oh, this could work really well as an allegory for like bisexuality. And like, oh, I had this child that I now have to raise, and they're bi. Well, I've got to hide that. Hide the fact that you're different. Hide the fact that you're attracted to both people, and I'll accept you if you just don't act queer.
And it could also go to trans kids coming out to their parents and being like, and like, it's just like, don't do that. That's dangerous. That's dangerous for you and other people around you. They won't accept you.
Yeah.
Immigrants too. I think a lot of immigrants have it like act white, just pretend you're white, and then
if you're white passing, pass as white.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is also something a lot of BIPOC people have to deal with.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
100%. I think this is connecting with people in such a big way because of that, because they did that so well. And I think also a big part of it, and this is something that I'm bringing up from cinema therapy, what I love about this movie, and again, this kind of going back to Frozen as well, this is something that Frozen definitely doesn't deal with because it is a little, I'd say, way more geared towards kids. That sometimes when you do come out to a person that they do reject you, and you can't which is like a very real thing that I think it's so nice to see that represented. Just like, it is. What's so hard about revealing whatever this thing is about yourself is that some people won't accept you. They can't accept you. And that is a super hard thing. Like, obviously Rumi is fucking crushed by this fact, but she does have people who do love her that will accept her. And I think that's what pulls her through at the end. I think it's the most crushing part about this movie, but I'm like, it is an important thing to see that I think is not shown very often, that rejection is unfortunately always a real possibility.
It's real. That fear doesn't exist because it's irrational. It is a rational fear.
Yes.
And it's primarily shown through Rumi because of the half demon association, but you also have the other two where one is like, hey, I've always been the outcast of my family. I can't let people really get close to me. I have to put up these walls because I might be rejected for just not fitting in properly. And then the other one who's really into art and writing all these lyrics and being all like, she is worried that like, hey, you're going to reject me for not being normal and having bright, colorful ideas. And,
Yep.
I was interested if they were potentially going for like an autism read on her a little bit, but I think if nothing else, I think people could definitely get that from Zoe. Just like, because actually another small detail, which again, this was pointed out to me by somebody else, but she has an obsession and a fascination with turtles. The first thing she talks about when they're having their couch time is that she wants to watch like 172 videos of turtles. Yeah. She's always wearing turtle pajamas and she mentions turtles like constantly. And I was like, oh, I wonder if they were maybe hinting at this a little bit, but if nothing else, I think there it could be a slight read on that for some people. So
turtles are just cool, Brie.
Turtles are dope, absolutely.
That's why Squirtle's the best.
Okay, well, this is going to be sus show today. So.
Hey, look, we have to have a resident squirter. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I want to make a Charlie Kirk joke so fucking bad, but I can't think of one.
Dang it. I wonder if I did want to mention just really quick, the relationship between Jinu and Rumi is also very, very interesting. And I think it's so important. Again, this is something that cinema therapy talks about a little bit. They kind of don't have the makings of a great relationship because they are still both hiding a lot of themselves. They do bring out really good things about each other, but also Jinu is consistently holding back something very, very secretive about him.
Yeah.
And Rumi is not hiding that from him, but she is still hiding her authentic self from her friends. So it's just like there's definitely what I kind of like is that Jinu sort of represents the ultimate self-serving because he made a choice that was purely for himself, and Rumi is the ultimate self-sacrifice. All she does is for other people and that appearance. So it is, I think that's what that juxtaposition of those two make them potentially very good for each other. They could have a good relationship, but they can't where they're at because they are still sorting through that trauma, but they are able to help themselves, each other sort through it.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in relationships, both personal and through like other people, like friends and stuff, where one person is just, I would rather hide a lot of my past and just completely embrace them until I'm completely comfortable. And then I'll start, crumb feeding them what I've actually gone through. And you're right. It doesn't ever work out in that situation. And the only time that those relationships do work out is when both people are being equally open with each other.
Yeah.
But that does happen, and that is an accurate representation of a lot of things that I've seen.
Yeah, vulnerability is hard. That's all there is to it. And shame is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
Another small thing I wanted to mention is that
sorry.
So when Jinu does finally admit what is wrong with him, I know there was some small amount of people saying that, like, oh, it's weird that Rumi accepts him so quickly. She doesn't, though, necessarily. Somebody put this really beautifully, and I wanted to repeat this, that she neither diminishes nor dismisses the significance of his wrongdoing, but she tells him that the things that he did not define his value as a person. So, and I'm just like, I think that's another really cool message of this, that like, you are not the worst thing you've ever done. So just like you are allowed to make mistakes. And yes, he made a selfish mistake literally 400 years ago. So he needs to forgive himself and also realize that that's not who he is as a person. He has the capacity to grow and become a better person. So I think it is so nice to see so many different, like, the spectrum of shame and guilt and forgiveness and self-love. And I just I feel like I haven't seen it to this extent that this movie does it. It's so beautiful, honestly.
Yeah, it was really well done. Yeah.
And we've talked about those themes before in other pieces of media. I can't exactly remember the exact thing we watched, but we talked about how, like, it's just like, you are not entitled to anyone's forgiveness for the bad things you've done, but like you can at least still work on yourself to like be better going forward. And that's kind of like where that kind of stands. And that's kind of what he does in the moment, is like literally it's just like, yes, I've done horrible things, but I could still do the right thing in this instance.
Well, and that self-sacrificial moment is him accepting that he isn't solely defined by the bad things that he's done. And that's also why that drawing that the little girl gives him is like really affects him, is because other people are viewing him not as this evil thing that he views himself as, and he has a hard time wrestling with that.
Yeah. That's such a good point. I love that. Oh my goodness. Another small note I had was I like that oh my god, I'm probably gonna pronounce it wrong, but like the big bad in this, I think it's Key, I think that's how it's pronounced, but that the way he manifests in people is just negative self-talk. And I just feel like the way that's portrayed in the movie is kind of brutal, because I'm just like, oh man, I think all of us have had thoughts very similar to this, and the fact that once you succumb to that shame, it is all consuming, and it's usually that just that one or two insecurities about you where it's just like I know the one I remember in particular is Mira, where she's like, yeah, you don't deserve a family, you couldn't even keep the family that you had because you were such an outcast, you don't deserve this family. And I'm sure that's something that lots of people can relate to, that like found family is not really family because your actual family rejected you. So I honestly can easily go back to like that queer coding there, just like you don't deserve this either. You couldn't even do it right the first time. So
yeah, it was a great time watching it when I was in a depression hole.
But no, that actually is something that I can massively identify with as somebody who was exiled from the church. Like, I left the church because you're not good enough anymore. You don't believe what we believe? Get the fuck out. No one's going to talk to you anymore. And then once I started like building friend groups outside the church, there was that thought of like, you don't deserve this. These aren't really your family. This isn't really your friends. And it's brutal if you succumb to that.
Yeah.
Welcome to Trauma Talk with Seth. I'm going to be bringing up the church a lot more.
Well, if we don't talk about religious trauma, did you actually attend your therapy session?
We're still charging you. So.
Oh, man.
Wait, you're getting paid?
I'm taking money, so whether he knows it or not.
Bree told me that she was giving you your half. Like, I've just been sending the Venmos with a taco emoji.
We're out of time today, so
she just sends me a bunch of gummies and just says, take 2 of these and call me in the morning.
And then you never call in the morning.
Yeah. Do I look like the kind of person who calls the next day, Seth? You gotta wait at least 2 weeks. It has to be in the middle of the night where you're just like, you up?
I'm the person who the date finishes, I go home and I'm like, hey, I had a really good time tonight, send.
And then you never hear from them ever again.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I actually have had someone be like, we did a date, and like I texted her later that night, and she was like, "Why are you texting me right now? Like, wait until tomorrow, dude."
You're like, too soon. Oh, that's funny. That is weird of you, though. I hope you feel bad about that.
Oh, hey, 22-year-old Seth was a moron.
And
so was 32-year-old Seth and 33-year-old Seth, and presumably 35 to 40-year-old Seth.
We'll see maybe we'll get it together.
I doubt it.
Absolutely. Amazing.
I haven't yet. What's going to change? More therapy?
You never know. Did anyone else have anything else about this? I'm like, I feel like it's mostly just going to be like, I don't know. I fucking love this. I think it's so relatable to so many people. I think even like on a base level, and again, I think this is from cinema therapy, but just like anybody who has ever felt like something about them was made them unlovable. Like this movie connects with people on such a deep level, because I think we've all probably felt that to a certain extent, whether somebody's told us that or maybe we internalize that. And again, this relates to so many different experiences, which is why I think this movie is like not only just really good, I think it's really important. So I'm so grateful that it's getting like the flowers that it, like everyone loves this movie. Everyone's singing these songs. Like it's moments like these where I'm just like, I do kind of love humanity a little bit, which is hard to do a lot of the times, but I love that we have these like small moments of connection where it's like, wow, everything fucking sucks right now, but we are all jamming out to the same fucking songs and singing these songs together. There's something really beautiful about that, and that we can relate, even though it can go across to a lot of different situations, that people are finding connection with this movie. So
yeah,
that's my thesis.
I think the only thing that I can think of that I have left to say is that my one and only problem, and it is a slight problem, it is a very slight problem, because I think there is enough in context that excuses this, but is that we are told that the reason the demons do a lot of the things that they do is because of those negative thoughts that are being pushed into them by the big bad of the movie. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry. And at certain points in the movie, these demons are humanized a bit. You see how they feel. You see that they have emotions. Yeah. And then the end of the movie, they still put up the blockade that keeps them in the hell universe. But I actually, so I wish they had done more to show that like defeating the big bad was good for humanity and the demons, and they got to live in peace now that he's gone. But going back to that, it's big, huge, it's got status. This is why you don't let me talk for longer than 30 seconds.
Floor's yours, buddy.
But I liked that the like field of protection that was impervious was gold, and the one that we end on is a shifting between blue and pink, and that implies that there is still redemption for them. I just wish that were a little less subtle.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when you talk about like how those subtle things that they do in this movie like were so good, and then of course like wanting to see something a little bit more explicit. But again, it does leave room open for exploring in sequels, obviously.
Yeah. But again, this is the tiniest of problems that I could possibly have with this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my main thing is, it was really refreshing getting to see a movie like this, one that is a very wholly original idea, pulls from things that we can all relate to, especially even from a cross-culture things. Like, it's easy to understand the themes, understand the messaging, understanding what it's kind of about. And, hopefully we continue to kind of get stuff like this. But, obviously we're in such like a rough time with, we talked about K-pop slop and AI slop and all the other kinds of stuff that kind of comes along with it. And we're getting inundated with that constantly. I hope more, really kind of like broad original ideas keep coming in this kind of format. But,
this has been a pretty good year for original ideas. But also, we almost didn't get this because Sony had zero faith in it, and that's why it got dumped on Netflix initially.
Yes.
Yep. And we are seeing right now, like, there seems to be a little bit of movement, I think specifically on the AI stuff of that, where it's just like, there seems to be this understanding we're coming to where it's just like, it's all slop. We've hit more or less the upper limit of what that technology is actually capable of at this point. And like
in this form.
Yeah, in this form, and just like getting to a point where it's just like, all right, the experiment has failed. We're dumping it, and we'll come back to it later when it's actually like had time to actually work the way it was intended to.
Yeah, well, and like the bubble is popping. Meta massively downsized their AI division. Google has downsized their AI division. It was just a new version of NFTs. It was a new scheme, new whatever.
Which anybody could have told you that, because it was, once again, it was technology predicated on its potential. In the future, we're going to be able to do this with this technology. It's just like they're always telling you the potential of the thing, never actually the actual thing, because at the end of the day, it was still a computer just doing ones and zeros.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is at the end of the day. This entire thing that we're doing is literally just our cameras and our microphones going into like a stream of ones and zeros and coming out the other end. That's all it is at the end of the day.
Which honestly blows my mind. It is so weird that I can talk into a microphone, not right now, but on other episodes. Talk into a microphone, it travels down a cord, and then hits a box that turns it into ones and zeros that then can be translated over airwaves to both of you. That fucking technology has its moment.
Yeah, no, it is insane that thing that we through ingenuity we are capable of, but trying to treat what basically became generative AI as anything more than just basically like regurgitating stuff that's already been done before. Like that's the end of the day, and specifically it ruined itself because basically people started taking AI content, publishing it without remotely even trying to do anything to it, and then AI was basically just AIing over AIing over AIing, and that's where we end up today. It's why it failed.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've seen some more news that their most recent episode that they started with that image of The Rock that they put through AI and had it recreate like 100 times, and it turned into like this cartoon with big blue lips and like these huge eyes, and it's AI sucks, man. I hate it. I don't like it. Just stop letting me talk for longer than like 10 seconds.
It's all good. The reality is,
I want to say, go ahead.
I was just saying, let artists be artists. Let us actually make the things. Let us learn new skills. Let us do the kind of stuff. And like, yes, it's going to take longer and it's going to be more expensive to do, but it's always better.
Yeah.
And no question.
Don't get me wrong. There is shitty art out there. There's a lot of
absolutely. Like, have you heard my music?
Have you watched one of my videos?
My art's amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. Sucks to suck, guys. I want to make two more comments. One based on what you said, Seth, about the because I actually do agree with you on that about the whole demon thing. But I will say there's also the distinct possibility that some of those demons are actually just really fucking awful people that deserve to not be in part of the human world.
Very true.
Distinct possibility. And on that note, I don't know if this is confirmed because I've seen this in a couple places that allegedly there was quite a bit cut from this movie that they cut at least an hour out for time. I'm so grateful that they did, but I wonder if that was part of what the cuts were. And I believe they cut part of the romance, which again, I am super pleased with. I think that everything about that timing wise and pacing wise was excellent. And I do wonder in terms of like, I'm hoping movies like this and even like movies like Sinners, things like that. I feel like we've had such a good year for movies in general. So I'm really hoping that we are turning the tide of like, which I know we talked about in a previous episode of just like, them making content assuming that you're stupid, you're not paying attention, that you're on your phone. I'm happy to sit through Sinners was a pretty long movie, but I was happy to sit through it because it had something to say. This movie, I again sat through distracted because it had something to say. So just like, I'm hoping that we are turning towards like, hey, actually to your point, we want this art. We want to pay attention to it. We are happy to not be distracted for something that's worth looking at. So give us more of that, please, because, that's what we're here for. And I like it's worth making because it's connecting with so many people. Sinners, like just a random example, but I'm just like, I feel like that is something that's connecting with a lot of people too. It's just like, we want this kind of art for it's like we're asking for it, please.
And as far as Sinners goes, going back to a previous one of your points, Bree, like Sinners is a movie that respects your intelligence. It's just like, hey, this is post Civil War South. There you go. We don't need to explain to you like what it was like down there. It's just like, here we are.
Yeah.
100%.
It's like we don't have to explain what the Klan is. We know what the Klan is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully media literacy is not completely dead. So despite TikTok's best efforts.
Yeah. Oh my God. Fuck.
That could be a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah, that could be a whole episode, actually. Especially with I've learned that satire does not do well on the app because people are just stupid. And even I made a video recently that got a little bit of traction, and the comments in that are just like, okay, but did you even watch the video? I'm saying this, and you think I'm saying this.
Yeah.
I can't dumb it down for you anymore.
It's the best video you've ever made, by the way. So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It got pulled and then reinstated after they said it wouldn't be.
Yeah, it doesn't
Mhm.
help when, like, again, like, you have to explain the satire or the joke or even the messaging to it.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. Fun times.
Great,
It is.
great time to be alive.
I did want to tell you guys that I really want to watch this movie again, but I think it's unfortunately one of those movies that I think I will sit down and just watch the full thing again. I don't think it could be in the background movie for me because I just like I'm going to want to sit down and fully engage with it again, which is like a great problem to have because I have been fighting with myself all week to not watch the fucking movie again because I really goddamn want to, but I don't have an hour and a half to spare.
I vote we
Nice.
all do
not
a
gonna have
live.
the
That is a
background.
good problem.
We do a live watch party of the sing along version.
And sing along.
And sing along.
Please.
I'm on board.
Oh my god, amazing.
But maybe when we launch the Patreon for all 2 of our viewers.
Yeah.
And we can all
And
cry
we love
together
you
at the same
Yeah,
time.
Just the entire last song is just us.
I will
No,
say, sorry,
seriously.
one last note on this. But I feel like even the people, like the other videos I've watched, when they get to that part, they still cry, even though these people have seen it, like because their kids watched it like 10 times. They're like, I'm not gonna cry this time. I'm not gonna cry this time. So, amazing, beautiful.
I was fighting it. I'm like, you have to watch this from a critical viewpoint. We're going to be talking about it in a few hours, and I can't. Just stay strong. Stay strong.
It's so rough for you too. I'm very impressed because honestly, I think once I don't even remember when I think like the last third of the movie just like fucking wrecked me. I think the second that she's like more in her demon form, I'm just like, okay, well, I see what this is representing, and this is, really tough. So I just just my makeup was gone. So,
Mine
so
too.
worth it.
Seth's eyeliner
Beautiful.
just running down his face.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. Then I took a picture and posted it to MySpace.
Yep. He had the cone straight over his face.
Absolutely.
I had to get a wig for it. And the
Don't
caption
forget, like,
was
the star smart. Yeah, and the caption underneath.
the caption saying like, "I don't want to talk about it."
Oh my goodness.
I would kill to bring back MySpace at this point.
Oh, it was so good.
Take me back.
We had no idea how good we had it.
We didn't. We really didn't. Arguing over top 8s, bulletin boards.
Honestly, just take me back to pre-algorithm social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see ads. I only want to see what my friends post. I don't want to see anything else.
No infinite scroll. That was the worst decision ever made. So
Once
Yeah.
I hit the bottom, I hit the bottom.
Yes.
It's just like, oh, okay, I've seen everything today.
Remember how good it was when like you first got Facebook and all the ads were just on the side and you could completely ignore them?
Oh yeah. Remember
a golden era, truly.
Remember when your YouTube sub box was literally like, I see all the videos of the channels I'm subscribed to, and once I've watched all of them, it's like, cool, I will catch them when they upload.
Yeah. Well, let's be fair. The YouTube sub box never worked properly. It was lucky if you got all of the videos from the people that you were sub to.
I mean, I back in the day, maybe it was only subscribed to like 5 or 6 people, so it wasn't as bad. If you were somebody who like had like 20 plus subscriptions, then like obviously that was a little bit different. But yeah.
Amazing.
What a time. Remember when Instagram was just like 1x1 photos with bad filters on them?
Yeah.
So good.
Good times.
So good.
Hey, again, things are bad if we are reminiscing about the early 2010s.
Yeah, I know. Obama was
I
in
know
office.
better, and I'm saying, I'm like, I'm on an Obama era like thing, and I'm just like, and I know better now. I know he wasn't that great of a guy, but you know what?
Yeah,
it was like, quiet.
At least after he did a drone strike, he didn't tweet about it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. God, we are truly in the worst timeline. Why couldn't Coolio be Scarecrow? I think everyone would have. It would have been fine.
That would have fixed it. That would have fixed it.
If Coolio had become Scarecrow, we wouldn't have gotten K-pop Demon Hunters.
You're right.
Think about it.
That's
that,
true.
I'm like, I think that's worth it. I do really love this movie.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It like I surprised because it's one of those things where like enough people tell you this is great. This is great. You have to watch it. That you kind of start thinking like, is it really that great? Can it really be that good? And then to watch it and have it be better than your expectations.
Yeah.
It's a rare thing these days.
And it is one of those things too where it's just like, because it is such a niche movie, it could, because again, K-pop is a niche in and of itself. Like if you're not really into K-pop, like, you know, it's kind of a hard sell.
Yeah.
But like but I would recommend this to anybody, really. I can't imagine anybody who I would at least associate with that I wouldn't recommend watching. And like again, I'm not inherently a K-pop person, but this was great.
I'm not really either. And I will say, I think it's also the animated aspect of it, because I think there is still that inclination. It's like, it is animated and therefore only for children, and you're a big weirdo if you're also watching it. So I'm currently trying to get my sister to watch it with me because we're about to go on vacation together. And I'm like, hey, listen, what's the over-under on me getting you to watch this movie? She's like, oh my God, I've heard about this so much. I don't want to watch this dumb kids movie. And then not even an hour fucking later, she's like, so I heard this cover of Golden and I really like it. I was like, yes, you just need that gateway song and then you're in.
Yeah, you got your in.
That is such a weird attitude
to have. You can now
inject
her with the heroin that is this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, that's such a weird attitude to have, because we really, like, the amount of adult animation that exists out there today, like, it's just like, I think there's more, especially since Saturday morning cartoons are pretty much dead. Like, there's more adult animation than there is kids animation, really, these days, at least that I see on a consistent basis. Like, obviously, there's always going to be kids cartoons out there, but as far as, like, mainstream, you know, animation, it's pretty much mostly adult-oriented these days.
Seems to be, yeah.
I think it's a nerd culture, though. I feel like we have a lot more, like, nerdy animation things, and I do think, like, I forget that, like, all three of us are neurodivergent, so I think that is a factor as well. That like the bar for normal is not what normal people think. Because I think if I said this like outside of like the couple neurodivergent people I know, they'd be like, "Isn't that a kids movie? Like an animated kids movie? Like why are you watching that?" So I mean, thankfully this is kind of breaking through that, but I think there is still like a general consensus that like cartoons and animation for children only. So I think it's starting to turn, but like I still think there's a lot of people think that, unfortunately, and are missing out on a really fucking good movie.
Well, and you see that in a lot of aspects of nerd culture, which is like video games. A lot of people are like, "Oh, those are just for kids," and it's like, no, they really aren't.
They're really not.
A lot of them are not.
Yeah, most, in fact. Comic books, another one where there's still a lot of people who are like, that's just for children. And it's a downside of nerd culture that like these incredible arts are being neglected by adults who would love them because, oh, that's kids stuff.
Well, it's also, you know, not necessarily just like, oh, those are for kids. It's also as we all know, as we get older, the amount of time we have for this stuff dwindles.
True.
Which is unfortunate. Like, because like I can't sit down and watch like a 5-season show like on a regular basis.
That's light work, dude. Like 5 seasons, that's nothing. But you're not willing to devote every second of your free time post work to a series that you might not enjoy? Come on.
No. I couldn't even get past the first season of Game of Thrones. Come on.
Oh, those first 3 are great. First 4 are really good. Everything past that is not worth watching. I tried rewatching the first season recently because I just did a read-through of all the books. Knowing where the series ends makes the first season completely unwatchable.
I believe that.
I'm sure.
Nothing matters. They ruin every character arc that they establish. I found myself watching the first episode being so fucking frustrated because I was like, I know where this ends, and it ends badly. I'm just gonna read the books again. Fuck.
Well, yeah. Well, we talked about it last week when we watched the sequel trilogy of just kind of like it's hard to go back and watch that trilogy knowing how fucking trash that movie that trilogy ends.
True. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love Game of Thrones though. The books are so good. They're so fucking good.
One day when I have time to read those books, I will read them. Such long books.
I've read them twice. It took me 5 months, both times, to read them back to back.
I'm sure.
That sounds about right. Excuse me. All right. Any final thoughts?
Good movie. Really good movie. Watch it. Go watch.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I mentioned this already, but I'm like, not only this is a fucking phenomenal movie, I think it's a really important movie. I think it's really important to a lot of communities, and I think this is connecting people in a way that is like really, really special. And I'm really hoping that this hype doesn't die down too quickly, just because I'm just like I am worried that this is a flash in the pan, that this is going to be gone by like next month or something. I was like, I hope we can ride out this joy for a little bit longer, because it has been so nice to have all of this shit in my feed, especially with everything horrible going on. It's just nice to be able to sing some K-pop songs that like all of us know the words to. There's something very special about it, and again, there's like these bright spots of humanity, and this movie is it for, and the connection that it's creating, and just that it's giving so many people in so many different communities validation, because again, this movie is handling a lot of topics that I don't think are discussed very openly, especially again like the themes of rejection and vulnerability, finding found family and things like that. I think it is so refreshing to see that, and it's so refreshing to see it in a compact way, to like that people are watching this multiple times. Like again, I don't rewatch things outside of like my comfort YouTube watches, which I don't count at all. The fact that I want to sit down and watch this movie again, and I know I have to pay attention to it, that's something really special to me, and I'm grateful this movie exists. I think it's such a cool thing in these dark fucking times. So
agreed. Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree with everybody just said. It's a high recommend on my point. Great on so many levels. It's a great narrative. It's a great story. Great messaging. Great music. Great animation and art style. And again, it's something that we talked about how like it's just like, oh, this is for kids. It's like it's not really, but like but if you have kids,
but
absolutely
kids
watch
could
it with it.
it.
Yeah, no,
kids,
like,
kids love it.
Yeah, like absolutely. If I had kids, I would absolutely love watching this with them. So, anyways, that brings us towards the end of the show. Seth, what's our homework next week?
So we should probably do this a little later, but I won't get to assign it in October because I looked through our usual recording schedule. Over the Garden Wall.
I actually was wondering when this was going to come up, so I'm actually all for it.
All right, good. Yeah, it was mentioned last week as a potential. We have to. It is so fucking good. I love it.
I've never seen
it.
So I'll organize with them, because I think me and Em talked about doing a watch through with some of our friends actually for it. So definitely start planning that. Anyways, that's our show for this week. You can catch me, TCK Media Productions, on most platforms. You have that Seth23 Fighting Fascist on the TikToks.
Yep, not sorry about that one.
Nor should you be. And then you have the Raccoon Loon herself, who you can also find on Game Birds, where she talks about indie games. Thanks. That's our show, and we'll see you guys next time.